Welcome to This Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining us today because we are diving into a story that honestly feels less like a typical tech update and way more like a high-stakes corporate thriller. We're going to look at the rise of an artificial intelligence tool that evolved so ridiculously fast and got so incredibly powerful that it completely terrified an entire multi-billion-dollar industry basically overnight. It's the Icarus arc of Seedance, and it is a fascinating look at exactly what happens when AI just completely outruns our shared reality. Let's get into it. To really grasp the scale of the panic here, we've got to start with the inciting incident. Cast your mind back to February 2026. This short, incredibly cinematic video goes completely viral online. It shows Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt in this massive, brutal rooftop fight. The lighting, the physics, the perfectly recognizable faces. I mean, it literally looked exactly like a leaked scene from some massive Hollywood blockbuster. But here's the wild part. Neither actor was actually there. In fact, none of it was real. The whole shebang was generated entirely by AI, delivering a level of realism that nobody, and I mean nobody, expected to see anywhere near this soon.
Okay, let's dive into this, because the reaction to that video was instantaneous, and man was it severe. Within just 48 hours of that clip circulating, the Walt Disney Company fired off this massive legal cease and desist letter. And they didn't mince words either. They explicitly accused the creators of this tech of pulling off a, quote, virtual smash and grab of their intellectual property. It was fast, it was super aggressive, and it instantly set the stage for an unprecedented showdown between Silicon Valley, well, Beijing in this case, and Hollywood.
So to understand how things reached that boiling point, let's look at part 1, rapid AI ascent, and ByteDance's timeline.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why Hollywood was caught so completely off guard. Just look at this incredibly compressed development window. ByteDance, the exact same company behind TikTok, was originally founded back in March 2012 by two college roommates in a Beijing apartment. But it's their video AI timeline where things shift into hyperdrive. Fast forward to June 2025, and their Volcano Engine division quietly launches Seedance 1.0. Just 6 months later, in December 2025, they dropped Seedance 1.5 Pro, which actually pulled off something rivals were really struggling with, perfectly synced video and audio generation. Then, a mere 2 months after that, on February 12, 2026, boom, Seedance 2.0 hits. This was the version that changed everything and cranked out that fake rooftop fight. You know, what's really fascinating here is that the warning signs of this dominance were already flashing. Even back when Seedance 1.0 launched, it was actually beating Google's Veo 3 on independent benchmarks. ByteDance's Volcano Engine division was already outperforming some of the biggest tech giants on the planet. But because it largely stayed under the radar of the general public and outside the mainstream media bubble, the entertainment industry just wasn't paying attention, until, of course, version 2.0 absolutely forced them to.
Which brings us directly to the fallout in Section 2, Hollywood Strikes Back, and the ensuing industry backlash.
See, when Seedance 2.0 hit, it wasn't just this sense of technical awe in the entertainment industry. It was genuine existential terror. This hyperrealism and the traditional barriers to creating high-budget visuals were suddenly just vanishing. One successful Hollywood screenwriter reportedly looked at the technology and simply said, "It's likely over for us." And you really feel that visceral, very real human fear of seeing a machine instantly do what takes your industry hundreds of millions of dollars and thousands of crew members to pull off.
That fear instantly materialized into a full-blown corporate onslaught. Just look at the stack of adversaries mounting against ByteDance in a matter of days. You've got Disney jumping in to defend Marvel and Star Wars. You have Paramount Skydance piling on a day later over Star Trek and South Park. The Motion Picture Association, swinging the weight of Warner Brothers and Netflix, demands an immediate shutdown. The Actors Union, SAG-AFTRA, issues a public condemnation. The backlash snowballed from a single viral video into an avalanche involving literally the most powerful media conglomerates on the planet.
So the crucial point is how quickly this escalated from a corporate dispute to a matter of national politics. In March 2026, U.S. Senators Marsha Blackburn and Peter Welch took the extraordinary step of sending a formal letter directly to ByteDance's CEO. They called Seedance, quote, the most glaring example of copyright infringement from a ByteDance product to date, and they demanded a total, immediate shutdown. This was the ultimate climax of the backlash. ByteDance hadn't just angered Hollywood, they had drawn the direct ire of federal lawmakers.
Faced with that kind of insurmountable pressure, the company had to make a choice. This leads us right into Section 3, the guardrail pivot, and a strategic retreat.
ByteDance didn't completely shut Seedance down, but they did execute a massive strategic retreat. They hit pause on their planned global rollout from mid-March. When they finally did resume distribution through their CapCut app in late March, they introduced a much safer, cautiously rebuilt product. Let's look at the mechanics of these new safeguards. Step 1. face-blocking filters to prevent unauthorized deepfakes of real people. Step 2, mandatory digital watermarking to clearly flag all content as AI-generated. And Step 3, automatic detection systems specifically designed to block copyrighted characters from being rendered in the first place.
Let's move to Geniat and see how this builds into an incredible technological comeback. By June 23, 2026, at their Volcano Engine Force Conference, ByteDance skipped several version numbers entirely and unveiled Seedance 2.5. And wow, the generational leap here was massive. Generation length jumped from short clips to a full 30-second continuous pass, which was basically double what the best rival models could do at the time. Reference input skyrocketed from 12 all the way up to a massive 50. But the absolutely crucial element is that final one. Unlike version 2.0, this incredibly powerful 2.5 model launched with all of those strict IP guardrails already built in and fully active.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the broader context of the AI industry at that exact same time. Consider this number, $1 million. That was reportedly the daily cost to run OpenAI's rival video tool, Sora. By March 2026, just as ByteDance was pivoting and rebuilding, Sora actually shut down entirely after peaking at about 1 million users. So despite facing the absolute wrath of Hollywood and the US Senate, Seedance 2.5 was actually launching into a competitive field with one fewer major rival than it had just 3 months earlier.
When we zoom out and look at the macro picture, the story of Seedance isn't just about making cool videos. It perfectly defines this core conflict: technical capability versus real-world readiness. The engineers at ByteDance didn't deliberately set out to pick a massive fight with Disney or Paramount. They simply did their jobs way too well. They built a piece of technology that completely outran everyone's expectations, including their own internal safety guardrails. And honestly, it is the defining friction of our modern era. That exact moment when pure engineering capability effortlessly outpaces the rules and laws society has built.
Which leaves us with this final, provocative thought to take away from this explainer. ByteDance learned their lesson, and they added the necessary protections for Seedance 2.5. But in the grand scheme of artificial intelligence, technical capability and real-world readiness are running two completely different races. And right now, capability is winning by a massive margin. So, as we look to the future, we have to ask ourselves, are retroactive guardrails really going to be enough for the next generation of AI? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I hope it gave you a clear, structured look into one of the most pivotal moments in recent tech history.